Yeah, simply ball dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up! Ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, whether it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. What? You wanna swing? I rope a dope like the one on this boxing thing. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all times. Got something on your mind? Hit us up on the line for that round table talk. Ask B Hunt and Sheena and K-Sap too for their views on our dudes. Marriage Chronicles for you lovers. Oh, I'm married to the game. The championships, the only time I wanna ring. K-Sap, the man behind the mic. Check 1, 2. It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap. Just fall through, pull up the hottest pod smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford. Paid promotion. Yeah, simply ball dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up, chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up?
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Droppin' Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Please like the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I always say, we know one trick pony. We cover it all. We cover sports. We cover hot topics. We do the roundtable talk. We do the marriage chronicles. We talk to people that are in relationships. We talk to married couples. And we just get their perspective on their love life. Appreciate all the new subscribers that are tuned in. Hashtag salute. I see your comments. Appreciate everybody that's rocking with your boys, showing support. Shout out to all my supporters and all my sponsors. We can't do this without you. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you, man. Laker Nation, I feel for you, man. I feel for you going forward, man. If y'all think that Darvin Ham is a good coach, y'all sadly mistaken. Just finished watching Portland and the Lakers, and I just don't understand what Darvin Ham is out there doing, man. That coaching staff has to be better. And, you know, they made Russell Westbrook a scapegoat. He said it in previous games and post-game press conferences, even at halftime, that the coaching staff must be better. That coaching staff must be better, and it starts with Darvin Ham. When are people going to start holding Darvin Ham accountable for what he puts out on that floor? With the new acquisitions that they brought in 6 new players. I understand that Mo Bamba hasn't played yet. He's serving a 4-game suspension when he got into the altercation with Austin Rivers. Davon Reed was traded from Denver for Thomas Bryant and a couple picks. Davon Reed is not going to see the floor that much. He really didn't see the floor too much for Denver, so I don't think he's going to be incorporated in that lineup. What I do see is with Darvin Ham's lineup the other night, on Saturday night, he got away with playing that 2-guard lineup with D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder. But that backcourt is not going to work. You got 2 point guards on the floor at the same time that basically are one and the same. You have to go with a conventional lineup. You have to have a shooting guard beside one of them point guards. You either can have Austin Reeves on the floor, Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown, or Malik Beasley. I understand LeBron hasn't played in the last 2 games with the new lineup, with the new players that was brought in after the trade deadline. But it's time to panic, Laker Nation. It's time to panic. I mean, with the group of guys that the Lakers have, there's no way that they should be fighting to get in the play-in. The pieces are there. Darvin Ham just does not know how to incorporate these pieces to make this puzzle complete. Darvin Ham's lineups and his rotations are horrendous. I mean, I can't say it enough, man. I've sat there and watched the Lakers, compete with some of the lineups that they had. And it's baffling that they can't get it done. Right now, I cannot blame it on the players, man. I understand that Darvin Ham is not out there playing defense for the players. I understand he's not out there shooting. I understand he's not out there at the free throw line. He's not out there giving the effort. But at the same time, it starts with you. You got to press the right buttons and put these guys in position to be successful. This notion of him going with this 2-guard lineup for these last 2 games with Dennis Schroeder and D'Lo, that's not working. You let Russell Westbrook walk. You let him go. You traded him out. He was the spark coming off the bench. We don't have another point guard coming off the bench. So you got 2 point guards in the starting lineup, which is not working. It worked the first game when they played Golden State, but it didn't work tonight. And the thing about Darvin Ham is Schroeder was struggling so bad tonight that he stayed with him. And the thing about it is when you got D'Lo out there running the offense, when he's out there without another point guard, let D'Lo operate, man. Put shooters in the corner, Anthony Davis down in the paint, and we go to work. You break the defense down or you get the ball into Anthony Davis. When they double, you kick it out to the shooters. But I've seen tonight where Malik Beasley got in the game. He missed his first 2 shots and then he hit a floater in the paint. He takes Malik Beasley out. He doesn't even give him an opportunity to even get warm. But Schroeder was struggling so bad. You kept Schroeder in the game and Dame Lillard was cooking him. Now, Darvin Ham came from the Milwaukee system as a defensive coach. He's not even coaching defensively. Because you know that when you got Dame Lillard out there, sometimes you got to blitz and get the ball out of his hands. But me personally, if Dame is going to go for 60, let Dame go for 60. As long as them others, like Shaq always says, as long as them others do not beat you. So you started doubling Dame and guys started running around. Everybody else was wide open. Everybody else was cooking. Everybody else was hitting threes. It seems like every time Portland plays the Lakers, their eyes just light up and the 3 ball be dropping. These last couple games, man, Portland been struggling behind the arc. They played the Lakers tonight and they torched them. They had 17 threes in the first half. Now, if you're going to let Dame go for 60, let him go for 60. But long as them others don't get them shots, man. But when you got the defensive scrambling and running around, it's going to be wide open shooters, man. And tonight, what pissed me off is Lonnie Walker only had 6 minutes played until there was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter when they was down 23. And you put Lonnie Walker in there for scrap minutes. That's terrible. That's terrible. Darvin Ham don't know the buttons to press, man. He don't know the guys to put in that rotation. The trade deadline is gone. They picked up some nice pieces, brought 6 new pieces in and shipped 6 out. Now, everybody is upset that Thomas Bryant was traded to Denver, but Thomas Bryant got upset. You know, when Anthony Davis was out, Thomas Bryant was averaging 15-9. He was averaging 15-9. So when Anthony Davis gets back, his minutes was cut down and he wasn't satisfied, so he requested a trade. So there's reports out there that people don't know that they was upset that Thomas Bryant got traded. But Thomas Bryant was upset because Darvin Ham cut his minutes. And the same thing with Wyndon Gabriel. His minutes was cut down dramatically as well. But now, since Thomas Bryant is gone, now Wyndon Gabriel gets to get back in the lineup and get some minutes, which on Saturday night, he played well. But you come into the night's ball game and, you don't get the minutes that you had on Saturday night. It's the inconsistency of Darvin Ham's rotation going down the stretch. And the one thing that is concerning is you traded for Rui Hachimura. You got rid of Kendrick Nunn. You brought Rui Hachimura in. He's a big dude, man. He's 6'7", 6'8", long, can shoot the perimeter, got good mid-range game. He's second in the league in mid-range. And the reports was that he is going to be in that lineup to close the game. Well, he wasn't in the lineups to close the game, and they lost a couple games since he's been, with the organization. They lost down the stretch. But on Saturday night, he showed up because he was in the closing lineup. He hit a foul line jumper. Then he hit the big three from the dish from D'Lo. And he got a rebound off of an Anthony Davis block. And he pushed the ball up the court. And we pushed the tempo. And I like Jared Vanderbilt. But the thing about it is Darvin Ham does not know how to incorporate the pieces in that he brought in. Darvin Ham got to go, man. If they don't make the play-in or a playoff push, and they don't at least, like I said, get to the play-in, Darvin Ham got to go. He is not a good head coach, man. Defensively in Milwaukee, he was getting it done. But what's the difference, man? You got pieces out there that are long on the perimeter, and you don't know how to incorporate a lineup that is going to work. And I like Austin Reeves, but Austin Reeves gets cooked defensively. Like, he gets cooked. Guys, you got to understand. I understand LeBron hasn't played with the new unit yet. That's going to probably, help out some. But it's not gonna put a Band-Aid over the stuff that you can see with the naked eye from Darvin Ham's coaching style. Darvin Ham's coaching style is not equipped to what Laker Nation is used to. Because with the pieces that they got, everybody that rebounds the ball, they can push it. Saturday night against Golden State, they was pushing tempo. All of a sudden tonight, everything changed. They started out, they was up 9. Force-feeding Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was getting to his spot, getting a lot of rim touches. But Anthony Davis bails the defense out sometimes, man. And I've always said Anthony Davis is not strong enough to back nobody down to get an easy bucket, man. He always wants to settle for that mid-range game, and he bails the defense out. Shooting threes, he bails the defender out. Like New Orleans, Anthony Davis, that ship has sailed. And I think Anthony Davis, the way he moves around, he compensates for the injuries. Because in New Orleans, Anthony Davis was a bucket. He had low post game. He had moves to the basket. His jump shot was fluid. That mid-range was fluid. He was dropping threes, a high 80% shooter from the free throw line. But I think with the injuries that he has suffered since being with the Lakers, the foot injury, the ankle injury, it's affected him, the leg injury, because he don't move the same way he moves, the way he moved in New Orleans, man. And that's the Anthony Davis that you need. And this notion that you're only going to go as far as Anthony Davis takes you, I throw that out the window. I disagree with that. The media outlets on all these highly coveted sports shows, TNT, and things like that, ESPN, Charles Barkley says it. I disagree with you guys, man. That team is only going to go as far as LeBron James is going to take you, because there's pieces that have been incorporated into this Lakers organization that can work with the style of play that your best player is used to. Darvin Ham just got to know how to put the pieces together and put the product on the floor to make things work. Darvin Ham is not a good head coach, man. And, we got to stop, faulting these players. These players can't get out there and play without the coaches putting them in. You got guys sitting on the bench that your team is deep enough that you should be able to, sprinkle these minutes in. And just like reports out there now that the organization is kind of upset at Darvin Ham for really maximizing LeBron's minutes the way he was. So everybody's, upset that LeBron, since he's broke the scoring record, then took these last 3 games off. It's unfortunate, man. It's just normal wear and tear on that ankle and that foot. But Darvin Ham has to be better in managing his minutes. And with the pieces that you got, LeBron James shouldn't have to be on that floor for 40 minutes, man. His minutes should hover around anywhere from 30 to 32 minutes a night, man. He shouldn't have to play in that upper echelon of 40 minutes. I know some of these games that went to overtime, but Darvin Ham got to start minimizing LeBron James minutes on the floor. The Lakers shouldn't have to depend on LeBron James to win them a basketball game. Darvin Ham has to start coaching. And what I see from Darvin Ham is he walks up and down the sideline with his hands in his pocket. He's not doing no coaching. So for people to say that, this is a bad roster and things like that, I disagree with that. The Lakers got plenty of pieces to make a playoff push, a playoff run, to get themselves in the play-in, to get themselves even up as far as the 6th seed. But it's up to Darvin Ham and the coaching staff, man. There's reports out there that some guys was not happy with their minutes. That's what some of the guys that are still on the roster now. So we gotta pay attention to that. We gotta pay attention to some of these reports about, some of these guys, getting upset about their playing minutes, man. I know it's a business. I know it's a profession, but these guys are well aware of what's going on. And I know these guys are watching these seedings and this log jam in the West. But when you just losing games and the teams that are above you are losing as well, and you're not catching no ground, man, that's terrible. Man, you got 1 game before the All-Star break. And then when you come out of this All-Star break, you got like 24 games to go, 23 games to go. And like Schroeder said last week, this stretch run, the Lakers got to win at least 17 or 18 out of them 24, man. They have to go on a run. If you can put together a 3 to 4 game win streak, things will change. But it all depends on what Darvin Ham is going to do as a coach, man. Darvin Ham's coaching style is not equipped to what Laker Nation is used to seeing. I mean, Laker Nation, Vogel did better than this. Because what Darvin Ham is showing me, man, the X's and O's of basketball, he can't teach that. He can't put pieces together to light a fire up under this team to see what's working. Because this 2-guard lineup with Schroeder and D'Lo right now, it works Saturday night, but that stuff is not going to work. You got shooting guards on the floor, on the bench that are well aware that can be in this lineup, helping a point guard out. D'Lo with a shooting guard, a power forward, a center, and a small forward. You let them work. Bring Schroeder off the bench, man. You can't have D'Lo and Schroeder in there at the same time. They one of the same. They basically do the same stuff. D'Lo shoots the 3 ball better. He has more poise and more, savvy about himself than Schroeder. But D'Lo, if he's the starting point guard, he needs to be the starting point guard. You can't have 2 point guards out there. And I'm going to go off topic a little bit. Watch these last 2 games with the Dallas Mavericks with Kyrie and Luka. Both of them putting up big numbers, but they 0-2 since both of them been on the floor at the same time, man. They one of the same. They both can get a bucket anytime they want. But the thing about it is the others now are suffering. When Kyrie was in that lineup before Luka got back, Kyrie won 2 straight games without Luka, putting up the numbers he was putting up because he was getting everybody else involved. But now it's like these last 2 games, it's just been Luka and Kyrie going back and forth. Who's going to take the shot? But let me get back to these Lakers and Darvin Ham, man. Rob Pelinka, man, you got to look at your coaches, man. You got to put a fire up under Darvin Ham, man. We got to start holding Darvin Ham accountable. And I hate when they go into these post-game press conferences and these medias don't want to ask the tough questions to these coaches. If I was part of the media, I'm asking Darvin Ham, what is the purpose and what is your logic on having Dennis Schroeder and D'Lo in the lineup at the same time to start the game out? What is your logic? What are you trying to show your opponent by doing that? Sometimes these coaches play down to their competition and they don't play their style of play and play the style of play that your opposing team plays. So Darvin Ham, you got to be better, man. You're on the clock. Laker Nation, I feel for you, man. It's hard to watch these Laker games because one game it's like they're a playoff team. Next night, they're a lottery team. It's too much inconsistency, man. And it starts with Darvin Ham. I don't care if LeBron James sets out 2 or 3, 4 more games. You shouldn't have to have LeBron to win these games when you got Anthony Davis. Everybody said this team is only going to go as far as Anthony Davis takes them. But you got the pieces around these guys to make things work. But it starts with Darvin Ham. It starts with Darvin Ham, man. Darvin Ham, you got to be better, man. Darvin Ham, man, you got to, Rob Pelinka, man, you got to put Darvin Ham on notice, man. I know a lot of people in Laker Nation is going to be pissed off, when they see the podcast, but rightfully so. But some people might agree with me. And a lot of people that, have been commenting on the podcast, they agree with me. So we got to, this notion of, Russell Westbrook, he's not walking back in that building no time soon, man. Thomas Bryant is not walking back in that building no time soon. Kendrick Nunn is not walking back in that building no time soon, man. Patrick Beverly is not walking back in that building no time soon. You got rid of the players that was, making things difficult for you, man. Now you got some NBA basketball players on your team. You got to make it work, Darvin Ham. You've been put on notice, man. So, man, y'all tell me what you think, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video, man. Get this video popping, man. Get this video to Laker Nation, man. Laker Nation needs to hear this, man. So leave your comments. Like I said, I respond to all comments, and I see y'all in the comments. #salute, man. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Once again, I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.